Hey there everyone, Luke here. Now, again, I apologise for the review being a day late. I was just majorly busy yesterday, and this review will be going up a little bit later on today because it's like 2 in the morning here. So yeah, it'll be going up a little bit later today, possibly in the evening when I get back, because me and my brothers, we're gonna go and see Jurassic World. Now I know people have been saying like, "Oh, why are you going to go and see it? It's rubbish." Hey, we're going to go and judge for ourselves. Which reminds me, I mean, I know we had the chapter with the Yozakura family doing the film festival. I like to see a chapter with Kyorichiro, Shinzo, Keigo, Nanao, and Taiyo just at the theatre together, and they're all just deciding like, what should we like? That could be a chapter in of itself, or just the fact that Kyorichiro and Taiyo just on a subway together, just talking and being like, "Hey, Kyorichiro, why are you like that? Like, what?" And he'll be like, "What do you mean? I always want to protect mutes me." It's like, yeah, but you've got the whole family. And he'll be like, "You make an interesting case there, Ty, which is why I'm gonna get you in Steel Spider after we get off here." I just get that. I just want a chapter like that where it's just Taiyo and the other male siblings of the Yozakura family just hanging out and chilling out. But anyway, that's besides the point. Before we get into the chapter properly, huge, massive shout out of thanks to Shonen Ouji for plugging my reviews in his last Twitch stream. Go and subscribe to him. I'll link his Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube all in the description. So mega thanks, man. Really do appreciate that. But for now, let's get talking about Momo. Okay, so this will be chapter 134, titled 0 Points. Okay, Momo. Now, I know my reviews are not the best in the world, the most primitive of primitive things there, and also the grain in the reviews there. I know they're not the best in the world, Momo, but come on, 0 points. I at least make the effort to do it like every single week. So you got to give me at least 1 point for that. And on top of that, I'm doing the videos with Control Chaos now. So you got to give me at least another point for that. Nah, I'm just kidding. It was just something that just came to me right there when I just saw the chapter again for the first time. But yeah, this is in reference to what goes on in the chapter, where it's basically just Taiyo trying to fight Momo, and Momo's just like, "Oh, you're getting..." And Momo's basically grading him on how he's actually fighting, which is quite a unique thing for the current main villain to be doing with the main character. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. So it starts off at the end of from the end of the chapter where Taiyo basically said to Saitama like, "Hey, can I borrow your one punch?" And Saitama was like, "Okay." He just goes, "One punch!" and just punches Momo out. But yeah, Momo is kind of like, "Oh, punching your father-in-law, what a bad boy." And Taiyo's just like, "Wait, what? That didn't take it down." As you see Momo just do like a backflip, getting right onto his back and just speeding along. And he's like, "Okay, Taiyo, I'll play with you." So again, just showing like the flexibility of Momo here, like even though he's been even though he had that like dynamic punch in the last chapter, it is not really phasing him. And again, just showing how much of a resilient person Momo is, and how it's pretty much going to be difficult to actually take this guy down. So yeah, continuing on, we have, after Momo just speed blitz himself, gets back up, you see him turning around, going to punch Taiyo, but his punch actually stops right in front of his face, and Taiyo's like, so fast before Momo just flicks him by the nose, and Momo's like, "Oh, your reaction time is too slow, Taiyo. That's going to be minus 10 points for you." And Taiyo's just like, "Wait, when am I being graded on? When am I being graded on this? Okay, if that's the way we're gonna do it, I'm gonna have to do a different tactic." So he goes to swoosh his leg around Momo, but Momo was kind of expecting this, so he's just like, Yeah, Taiyo, that's a pretty interesting technique, but I kind of saw this coming, so unfortunately I'm going to duck out of the way and then trip you up. And he says, oh, your wind up is too big, minus 15 points. So Momo's basically teaching him, like, hey, if you want to defeat me, you're going to have to improve on your skills. So, like, your reflexes are too slow, and your build up to the attacks that you do, they're just much too big. So it's basically kind of like, you know what Momo is doing here when he said your wind up is too big. It's basically like, okay, I do know about Dragon Ball enough to know about the Super Saiyan, so it's basically like if Goku in Dragon Ball was like, I won't let him get away with this, power up, for basically like 10 minutes, and Mo was like, yeah, your wind up is too big, I'm just gonna do the Goku scenario here. Yeah, your wind up is too big, Goku, why can't you just go, right there. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Like Momo is pretty much in this situation, just like saying like, just pointing out how stupid the cliche actually is. That it takes so long for attacks to be winded up that anyone could just basically. And that's another thing as well. Like, why do the enemies just stand there while they're going on like in Sailor Moon, or like when Yu-Gi-Oh, when Yugi and Yu-Gi-Oh went Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's just like everyone's just standing there like panicking. Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just Yu-Gi-Oh, and just standing there rather than being like, oh, I don't think so, Yugi, and just grabbing him. Or like in Sailor Moon when they're just like, Moon Prison Power, they're just standing there. The villains are just like standing there like, what do we do now? How long is this actually going to take? I just love that. Like, they didn't take advantage of the situation there. And Momo is basically, yeah, I am going to take advantage of the situation here because you are just winding up too much for an attack here, Taiyo. So that's what he does. And he's like, yeah, minus 15 points. And we see Momo just basically dodging again out of the way of Taiyo as Taiyo goes to whip out. So it's basically like Taiyo's going like with Yuri, his stun gun that turns into a sword. So he's trying to go and shoot Momo, but Momo like quickly gets under him like that to kind of block him out, block out of the way. So pretty much effective here of just how much of a threat Momo is actually displaying on here. How Taiyo's gonna get majorly up to his level, and it's gonna take a long time now. Like this is why I don't think Mission Yozakura Family is gonna end anytime soon, because of just the way Momo's just completely dominating Taiyo here, and even to an extent dominate Kyorichiro, who, as we know, is the strongest out of the Yozakura family. So yeah, it's kind of amazing how we all think like, oh, is Mission Yozakura Family gonna end here? Is Mission Yozakura Family gonna end here? No, it's definitely gonna end here, and then it just keeps adding things on that's making it be like, yeah, this is not looking like it's gonna end anytime soon. And in all honesty, it can't end anytime soon, because again, like we were saying, we've got My Hero Academia, we've got JJK, Black Clover, One Piece, basically, and Mashal, like all these series that are in their final stages. Black Clover, My Hero, and One Piece in particular. Which, by the way, speaking of One Piece, in a couple of weeks' time or so, because it's on hiatus now, me and the guys at Control Chaos, we're going to be doing a big One Piece modcast, live stream, whatever we're going to be doing on that front. And also, just to make the announcement quickly, going off on a tangent here, Saturday, me, Red, Fex and Ann Arbor in Control Chaos, we're going to be doing a special modcast on the return of Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man Part 2 coming out on July the 13th, everyone. So get excited for that, because that is going to be one doozy of a video, which I'm really looking forward to be taking a part of. But yeah, like I said, Mission Yozakura Family, because they've got so many series ending, so many big series, they have to have like Mission Yozakura Family Witch Watch, maybe Akane, and possibly Ruri Dragon. Like, those are the 4 potential candidates, but we'll just have to wait and see on that front. But yeah, Mission Yozakura family, I feel like, is going to be sticking around for, like, people are comparing it to Tokyo to Hitman Reborn. I am not sure, so I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say I thought it had Tokyo in it, but I'm not entirely sure. So if someone could comment and let me know about that. But yeah, I looked at that and it said that 444 chapters. I feel like 400 to 450, that could potentially be the length, and I'd be content with that for Mission Yozakura, because that gives it time to, okay, the big series end, but this still keeps going for a while until we can get the next big thing coming in after Mission Yozakura family, which would make the most logical sense. Alright, so back to the chapter. As Momo dodges the blast from UA, he mentions to Taiyo, like, oh, UA is poor at point blank range. Okay, so yeah, we have, like, a legitimate weakness now for Yui, which is another interesting thing, because I was always curious, like, okay, Taiyo has this, like, super powerful weapon that can turn into a sword. That has to be a limitation to it, and unfortunately we do get that in this chapter. So yeah, that's another minus 25 points to Taiyo. Yeah, Taiyo, you're not looking good in the main villain's eye, which is kind of a cliche of the of Shonen, but whatever. I don't care. This is actually awesome, and made even better when it turns out that Momo is just like, oh, you have a knife here. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it, and then he just decks Taiyo in quite a similar way to how Taiyo decked him in the last chapter. So yeah, in the words of Loki, that's how it feels. I'm just a really big fan of the spot. I had to do the meme. But yeah, Momo goes on and says, oh, that was too obvious of a hiding place. What do you think you are? A character from Bleach? Do you think you're Ginichimoro, Taiyo, just hiding that knife in your sleeve right there? So yeah, he gives him another minus 10 points, minus another 10 points for sluggish mid-air movement. And if you're going to use UA, it should have been as a sword, which makes sense. Like, yeah, if you're gonna like attack the main villain, you wanna use the most efficient way to actually get rid of him. And yeah, Ty, you went for the more cautious but also the more wrong choice here. So when and he goes on to say that when fighting a superior opponent, you need to fight like you're trying to kill them. Minus 30 points. And also going back to the Bleach reference here, this is kind of similar to what Songetsu, or we can call him Songetsu because we all know, except for the anime only. Sorry, spoiler here, but yeah, Songetsu is Hollow Ichigo. Just gonna say that out there. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's kind of similar to when Hollow Ichigo Songetsu was training Ichigo, and it was like, oh, you need to have that killer instinct, Ichigo. And this is kind of similar to what Momo is saying here. Yeah, like, if you're going to go out and fight an opponent like as me, if you're going to fight an opponent like me, Taiyo, you have to have that killer instinct, because yeah, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop if you try to get in my way. I'm not going to stop until you're like dead, even though he probably won't want to kill Taiyo because of Mutsumi, and he loves Mutsumi, not in the way Kyorichiro loves Mutsumi, but yeah, in like the psychotic, overprotective way. Mind you, that's the same thing with Kyorichiro, but you know how it is with Momo. And Momo just slits back his head, just doing the eyes and thing here. I'm gonna, even though I've had all my hair cut off now, I'm just gonna do it anyway. It's just like, you scored 0 points. That's out of 100, of course. Train harder before you have a chance to beat me. So yeah, as Taiyo is just like gritting his teeth, I'm like, I couldn't beat him. Why couldn't I beat him? We see Kyorichiro preparing to launch an attack, but of course, Momo knows that, yeah, Kyorichiro would have used this to take advantage of it, and so even he is able to dodge Kyorichiro's attack, which, yeah, not every day that somebody gets the jump on Kyorichiro, and the fact that his father again showcases like how resilient Momo is, and like how he's able to go toe toe-to-toe with the main character and the strongest Yozakura family member. So yeah, he's going to be a big nut to crack in this series, and they're going to have to think of clever tactics in order to take him down. And of course, Kyorichiro being Kyorichiro, and seeing Taiyo on the floor, it's just like, maybe this is my chance to finally beat Taiyo at something. So come on, father, grade me. Like, he's obviously saying this like, I just want to be able to beat Taiyo, but yeah, I want to take you down, father, but I also want to be able to beat Taiyo here. So can you grade me too, please? And Mo was like, since you always get full marks, my dear son, I will want to be sure I grade you properly. Yeah. So for now, let me introduce you to the little brothers of my little brother from the last chapter, as we see just swarms of this like grotesque tree-like thing. Which, now that the last chapter of One Piece is has come out, I'm honestly thinking like Green Ball is somewhere in the Yozakura family world, like he kind of hopping between dimensions between Wano and the Yozakura world. Yeah. Lost my words there for a second there, but yeah, so we have more of these like grotesque monsters, which I have a theory about these, like potentially how the series could continue on in regards to these things. But yeah, he's like, let's save that for some other time, okay? As we see Taiyo and Kyorichiro using the spider seal to save Taiyo and just get them out of the way. And again, little subtle moment there, but it showcases that, yeah, Kyorichiro begrudgingly respects Taiyo enough to, like, yeah, can't let him be in harm's way because of Mutsumi. So begrudgingly accepting him, even though he kind of doesn't want to do these things. But yeah, Taiyo notices, like, yeah, this is the same thing as what the others were doing, were dealing with, and Momo goes on to explain to actually what these things actually are. So initially when he was saying little brother, yeah, they're not really the uncles and aunts, although technically they could be, but yeah, this is the explanation that Momo gives. He's like, I'm gifted, you know, athleticism, intelligence, and even look, I can handle almost anything myself, but pawns are still handy to have, the more the better. So I made them, my good obedient little brothers. I had Tsubumi birth a whole lot of them for me. And as we know, Momo is kind of unique in the Yozakura family, in the sense that, yeah, he kind of is a creation of Tsubumi rather than a traditional human being. So yeah, that's kind of what he means by little brothers. They kind of come from Tsubumi, created in the same way that Momo was created. So yeah, it's not really the aunts and uncles, although there could technically be essence of the aunts and uncles of the Yozakura family inside these things, or maybe okay, going off on the theory here, maybe when Kyorichiro defeated the Yozakura heads, Tsubumi absorbed them back into them and brought them back to life, but also like used part of their essence. No, this doesn't make any sense, because she used part of her essence. Then she brought them back to life, and I'm trying to get it. And okay, yeah, she brought them back to life and used part of the blood to kind of take from them and create some more of these monstrosities. So the heads might be back, and they might also have these monsters under their control as well. So that's kind of the theory I'm going off here. I know it's a little bit hard nuts to crack, but yeah, basically Tsubumi can create all of it. So yeah, technically Tsubumi is still the main antagonist. Well, I guess she's the central antagonist now, which makes more sense for her, or the overarching antagonist, whatever you want to call her. Basically, she's still around, and maybe Momo can request more of these things. Maybe using the Yozakura heads as like the basis, so like, yeah, we get them back and we actually get to see what they do, but they're not actually themselves anymore, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of the vague idea of what I'm going for on this theory. So yeah, he goes on to say, they're strong, resilient, round, ripe and juicy. They are adorable forms, inspired the name, which he calls them Saku Rambo Dark Cherry. So basically dark cherry trees. Yeah, that's basically what they're going for here. It's perfect, and he calls them perfect. Although, yeah, they're kind of amorphous green, like Audrey 2, Little Shop of Horror kind of grotesque individuals. And he goes to say, I can make more of them, and more pure Simonia will be collected. Ri will come back to life, and the Yozakura family will be whole again. So I guess what he's trying, I guess part of what Momo is trying to do is trying to absorb the Simonia from not just everyone around them, so not just from Ai and Rin and others that might actually have it, but also from the actual Yozakura siblings themselves. Just absorb them back into it and basically get them under control to kind of merge with these monstrosities to kind of be a whole family tree again, both figuratively and literally. He continues on and iterates that they've all been suffering from pain and sadness for so long, and as their father, he's going to teach them one thing, and that is love always wins. But yeah, not in your way, Momo, not in your sick, twisted, demented love way. And Kyorichiro actually agrees. Again, you know when you got an awesome feeling when I'm even siding with Kyorichiro of all people, and he's like, yeah, what utter nonsense. But Taiyo seizes this opportunity to actually attack Momo, and Momo basically figures out what is actually going on here, as he says, like, oh, it is Sakura Bones is dark cherries. Arrival basically weaken the ground, and Taiyo basically uses his hardened ability, so like he hardened it. So from what I can tell, he hardened his legs and then just unhardened them. So like he projected himself off the weakened ground to kind of give him momentum to kind of actually go after Momo. But as Taiyo is basically using Yui's sword form to kind of get Momo, the dark cherry monstrosities overwhelm him, and he's just like at the tip of Momo's nose, and Momo is just calm and collective, just like standing there, just being like, as he's got this sword pointing at his nose, just like, yeah, I knew you weren't gonna get me, Taiyo, but it was a good attempt. And Taiyo says, "Oh, Musume said she'll fight you to protect her family. If that's her decision, then I'll fight too. I'll fight you too to protect our family." And Momo's like, you got guts. Okay, I'll give you 5 points. I'll give you an advantage here. And grow stronger and come and try and take me down, my beloved son-in-law. And Momo uses this opportunity to say, yeah, I'm going to escape for about the 50 billionth time. You guys are not ready to take me on yet. And Kyorichiro's like, oh, he aggravates me more every time I see him. Yeah, I'm not blooming surprised when every single time he always manages to find a way to get away. And this is one of the more things that I love about Mission Yozakura is that they're not is that even though the Yozakura siblings try desperately to get Momo, he always manages to find a way to escape, and it's not just like a bullshit like they're just gonna let him go. It's like, no, they deliberately try their hardest to take him down, and it's just like, no, I'm still gonna get out of here because you guys are not ready to take me on. So yeah, Kyorichiro iterates that, okay, so they managed to take out the target, Futaba and the others, and now as long as the core survives, it will regenerate, so they've got to vaporize the core to take it down. Might want to take some lessons off Emma and Ray and Norma for the Promised Neverland, because they've got experience from taking down creatures with cores. But yeah, this is all interrupted when Kai actually calls up Kyorichiro, and he says like, and Kyorichiro says to Kai, I've been away from Mutsumi for 10 whole minutes and it's left me in a bad mood. Yeah, probably because of the fact that, most likely because of the fact that, it's left me in a bad mood because I've had to be with Taiyo instead of Mutsumi. But he says, and he says, like, yeah, I'm hanging up now because I'm going to go back and deal with my siblings. But Kai has something important to actually talk to him about. It's like, yeah, that's so crazy. I don't know what to say about anymore. But yeah, you've got a report from you've got a report to me right now because I've got a report from Shion and I need to talk to you about it. So come to the headquarters right away, and it has everything to do about Mutsumi, as we see on Kai's desk, Gold rank meeting a proposal in regard to the disposal of the Yozakura family. Current damage incurred by Momo Yozakura. That's where the chapter ends. So, pretty good chapter. Pretty good chapter. We've got a fight. We've got a demonstrate of how resilient Momo is and how far Taiyo has to go in order to defeat. Momo. Now, when I saw the when I saw like a scan before the chapter actually came out, and I saw the S, like, I thought it was actually we were going to get to like a gold or S ranking for Taiyo, which I was like, yeah, they better not be doing that. But no, actually going in a direction that makes me interested, because again, some questions get answered, more just get popping up, like what is this going to be about? Like, is it going to be like a case, a trial for the Yozakura? Like, yeah, your father is too dangerous and you guys are too dangerous, so yeah, we have to take you out now. And this might actually lead to Kai being an antagonist, and them going to be like, okay, we need to get away from Kai, we need to make our case known before he actually disposes of all of us because of what our father is actually doing. And this might actually lead to something that I actually was considering before I did the review. What's this going to do to Ai? Because she's in the care of the Yozakura family, but if they get disposed of, does this mean that Ai is going to be like, yeah, you can't live with these people anymore, and it's going to be a plea case between her, Taiyo, and Mutsumi of why she has to stay with them, what they've actually done for her, and how they've actually improved their characters. So yeah, that'll be a great character development chapter for Ai, Taiyo, and Mutsumi, and showcasing just how far they've come as their own little family. If it's going to be a case of like, yeah, because of the damage that Momo has done, we can't have a kid like Ai being around this family anymore. So she's gonna be taken into an orphanage or be taken into care, which they can't do that. Like, that family is perfect. Taiyo, Mutsumi, and Ai, and I feel like that's gonna be a battle that they're gonna have to fight in order to prove their worth. Of like, no, our father does has nothing to do with us, and we're gonna be able to take him down. So yeah, that ending panel has just raised so many questions about what is actually going to happen, what is actually going to be happening next. But we're obviously going to get some interactions between Kai and Kyorichiro, which we haven't got in the present storyline. We've seen the flashbacks, but now we actually get to see them interact with each other, and maybe confirm like what their relationship actually is. Like, are they? Because we had hints that there may be more than just friends, but this next chapter might actually confirm that, and if it does, then that'll be a great character development for Kyorichiro and Kai to kind of be like, yeah, even though we care for each other, we're going to be at lockheads because I'm the president and I need to make this decision, and you are going to be seen as enemies of me. And maybe we'll actually get to see if Kai does have the blooming in the same way that someone like I or the other members of Tampopo had it, and that'll be great. That'll be a great chance to see if that's actually coming true. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on the chapter itself. So look forward to the review when it comes up. Also look forward to the Chainsaw Man video that we've got planned, and keep watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series that we're doing on Control Chaos, and also look out for the One Piece modcast that we're going to be doing, and also some other projects with Control Chaos that I'm going to be doing and I'll be hosting myself. So yeah, look forward to them. But anyway guys, and also go and check out Shonen Ouji, and I'd love to do like a collab with him on something else. Because we did the collab, me, Pyjams, and him on Dr. Stone. I'd love to do something else with him, maybe on Witch Watch or a big Mission Yozakura family discussion, whatever. He's a great guy. Go and support him. He deserves all the support he gets. Does amazing videos, and once I go co-op to Eden Zero, I'll be able to chime in on those videos as well. But anyway guys, what did you think of this chapter? Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and this will be Lasherluke signing off. Later guys.